Hello, welcome back. I am Samurai. This is part 4 of my Assassin's Creed Origin playthrough to get the Platinum. Since my last video, I've gotten about 13 to 14 miscellaneous here and there trophies. Name a few: Ben-Hur, Triathlete, one for fighting or running away from a hippo 3 times. Basically, silly little things like that. Gonna try and do something a little bit different for this episode. Rather than trying to plough through the story and getting distracted, I'm going to plough through and do stuff like this: the synchronizations and defogging the map and unlocking or discovering the locations, because they are some of the bigger, or yeah, two of those are some of the bigger trophies of the game. But I've got some little topics to go with them, so bear with me, because I can imagine there's going to be a lot of cutting in and out of menus, just so that I know where we're going. The next stop I do know is another synchronization, which is just over here, as you can see. Voila. So we'll jump off here, jump on the camel. A camel I've not named. I don't even know if he has a name. I really should check. I know the eagle has a name. I don't know if the camel's got a name. But basically, a few of the little subjects that I've gotten, and I've got them all in front of me on pieces of paper, so I don't forget. New location. Where just a few bits and pieces to highlight a bit more about me, really. You know, like top 5 favourite films at the moment, top 5 favourite animes or mangas, because I do love the anime and the manga. I read. I've got so many books of manga. I actually lose track of what I'm reading. There's certain bits and pieces, silly little bits and pieces, like I have a total of 7 tattoos. If you can count them as 7 tattoos, because I've got one here, which is all the ninja clans from Naruto, and it's technically 9 ninja clans, or 9 clans, there's 9 symbols, but I count that as 1 tattoo. Otherwise, it wouldn't be 7, it would be... I can't do the maths. I can't do the maths that quickly. Yeah, other tattoos I've got see, I've got my big one on this arm, which is not very easy to see in my camera or this light, but it is the 4 avatars from Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Because I have visible this side is, I can't remember her name. Insert name or better picture of her. You have Aang, you have Roku, and then Korra herself on the outside there. Which, coinkydink, for those who may know or do not know, I have a little girl, and me and my wife have a shared love of the name Korra, so we called her our daughter Korra. Getting lost already. Well, where we gotta go? There's a location there. Do I go back to it? I'm going to go no, and I'm going to go. Let's go here. There's a few side quests I can pick up while we're in town. Let's do that one. Camel. Camel. Where are you, Camel? There we go. Right. One of the best features for this game. Just let it go. Off it goes. That's an animal of some sort who wants to eat me. What was it? Lions. Interested. Yeah. So I have that one. I have, obviously, again, my Naruto ones. I've got 4 on my other arm. One is the legendary symbol from Halo. One is the Gears of War logo. One is the Firefly symbol from The Last of Us, and the last one is something which was my first tattoo. It's very silly, very stupid, but it was to symbolise the fact that I wear my heart on my sleeve, which is a little heart with a safety pin. Bit silly, bit childish, but what are you gonna do? I know I think I've mentioned in previous videos, but there is... Let's just run this way quickly and catch those side quests, because they're always handy. So remember to run back to find them.
Welcome to Letopolis, dream of the great
That
Dahaka.
is a
New
voice
life
and off.
awaits you.
Yeah, I think I've said this before, but I play primarily on PlayStation. So, if there is anyone out there who's wondering why I have 2 Xbox predominantly games tattooed on my body, it is because I wasn't always PlayStation. Xbox 360 was my thing. It was the big thing back in the day.
A miracle of a man's labor. The great work begins. No,
He sounds like
You
Yoda.
just don't know it yet. We give every new
Yeah.
arrival a house.
I was
Only dig it out
big
and tell the
on
public
Xbox
what's
360. I
fresh
loved
start.
original Halo,
I'm not here to
loved
make
Halo
you
2,
use
Halo
our
3.
services.
Reach,
Speak
after
to
that
some
point,
of
they
the
all
new
kind of
inhabitants. Let
died
me-
for
he
me.
can tell you how liberating
Gears of
it is
War,
to
same
live
deal. 1, 2, and 3, absolutely loved
I
them.
cannot shed my past like a
I haven't
snake
touched
hides
anything
its skin.
since. I don't think I ever will, because
This
those
entire city will
first
be lost
3
to
games for
good
Halo
in
and
time of
Gears
our
of War were
exile.
such perfect little
But the
stories.
greater height
I didn't see much point in
we will reach the stars.
ruining it, if you will. It's like Uncharted. Every time I hear the words Uncharted 5 mentioned, I'm like, please don't be Drake. For the love of God. Drake's story is done. They wrapped that up in such a lovely little story, it would be pointless to even look at or consider
let me
making
help you
another
guys.
story with Drake. Don't want it. Don't do
You
it.
think me helpless?
I'm surprised to
Oh.
see a woman in your condition working so hard.
Pregnant.
The arrival of a
Condition.
child is a blessing,
Strong word.
right?
Pregnant.
Oh, I am
Um,
no delicate lily.
Yeah, so I got these back
Oh, are you in pain?
probably just as I
My
transitioned from
little
Xbox
being is just
to
more than
PlayStation.
self-known.
And the reason for that was PlayStation
My
just
work as a
hit
so
every
slow.
note,
I
coming
need
out
to
the
run
gate
over
for
and
me.
check on them.
and it's only gotten better.
Allow
I mean,
me.
I'm looking forward to, at the time of this recording, I've only got to wait, today's the 9th, 10 days. I have 10 days until Last of Us 2. I cannot wait. That will be incredible. And it feels like a decade I have to wait. But I can't wait. Yeah, just that will be incredible. I'm repeating myself. Tattoos. Yes, I was talking about tattoos and my brain went blank. My last tattoo, I can't really show you unless I can do a yoga position and put my leg behind my head, is a Star Wars tattoo on my left leg. And it's of, I don't know how easy it is to see, of this little guy. BB-8. I have him on my leg with a nice little ribbon going around him saying, "May the Force be with you," because links in with one of my all-time favourite films currently, because it's always shifting, it's always changing, and that is Episode 7 of Star Wars. And that's kind of tied with another film, because the thing I boil down my film choices to is, it's, if I had a top 10, they'd probably be in no particular order, but the 2 films I have tied would be right next to each other. That way. Oh, that's a long stretch of water. Still, fortune favours the brave. I don't see any crocodiles. We're good. Yeah. My theory behind top favourite films and stuff like that is, if you can put them on any time, any day, just duck under him, because I don't need that. New region discovered. Helpful. Now actually I can just jump on here, see where we gotta go, because next stop would technically be over here. Looks like I will be borrowing your boat, sir, and sailing all the way around. Yeah. Any film that you can watch at any point of any time of the day, you put it on, and you've seen it 100 times. You can literally do a reading as though you're sat there in the script room reading with it, and you know what is going to happen on every single beat, but you don't care. You can watch it over and over and over. That's how I work out my top 5. I would say top 10. I'm sticking with 5 just to condense it down and keep it shorter. And as I said, I have episode 7 of Star Wars tied with another one, and that is Avengers. Primarily, and I mean the first Avengers film, because that's what started it all off. Holy crap, would you ever have imagined? We sat in the cinema with a few friends, it blew my mind. I absolutely loved it. So much that I went back and watched it 5 times. Which obviously then puts Endgame, which is the conclusion to that massive story. Endgame, to me, was just a great film. All well-rounded, all well done. The other three that I put in my top 5, simply because one is one of my favourite films of all time. Will happily sit down and watch it any day of the week. That is... Actually, all three of them are. One is V for Vendetta. I watch it every year on the 5th of November, without fail, because it's V for Vendetta. It's at the edge. That is the edge. That's the edge of the map. Cool, we're doing well. I now just have to sail all the way downwards again through the one I've just gone through. But yeah, that film, love it. Love V for Vendetta. Last two, one is Deadpool. Absolutely love Deadpool. Love him from the comics. When I heard that Ryan Reynolds was trying his hardest to get a Deadpool film made, that blew my mind. When I first saw footage of it, I was in love. That film, great. Number 2 is just as good. Can't wait to see what they do with it. Can't wait to see if there will be a third film. But Deadpool 1 is up there because it got it all started. The last one of my top 5 films is, although I've said 6, I think, don't know. But yeah, it is The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. Batman, The Dark Knight. No, Christopher Nolan's, not swan song, because that was meant to be Dark Knight Rises, but The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger's Joker was fantastic. Christian Bale as Batman was fantastic. I can't say anything bad about that film. I just can't. I can quote that film from start to finish, all the way through. Just, it's unbelievable. Love it. Might also surprise you though, considering most of that top 5 are Marvel films, my favourite comic distributor, another little quick side turn, is DC. Primarily because I love and adore how dark and twisted some of those comics can get. And I just like the characters more. I mean, don't get me wrong, but if I were to pick my favourite characters from Marvel, I'm hitting notes like Deadpool, Spider-Man, Punisher. Very different characters, very on the ball. But then you step into the DC universe, you have Batman. And the whole of that. The whole of the Batman family, the whole of the villains, everything about Batman. I love it. I'm rambling. I can tell I'm rambling, but I said I've got 4 or 5 little sheets of paper all in front of me right now, with so many little notes on them for stuff to read or jump to, just for information about me, just to highlight what kind of a person I am. Obviously I've got down here like favourite thing to read. My favourite thing to read is a manga book. I do have so much manga books, or so many manga books, it's insane. Actually have most of them in storage at the moment because don't have the room. My top 5 mangas at the moment, / animes, because all of them have an anime. And some of them are just great depictions of what's on paper. The top 5 manga would be, in no particular order, same as the films. There is no number 1, though the one I have got at the top of the list is One Piece. I do love One Piece. It's just great. Every time I read it and I think you've got a handle on it, they change something or they push something, and all of a sudden you've got a whole new bunch of characters that you can't help but fall in love with. So yeah, there's that one. There's One Punch Man. Absolutely love One Punch Man. Great twist. Don't like Superman. Love Saitama from One Punch Man. Don't know how that works. Food Wars. When I first watched Food Wars, I thought, oh my god, this is just going to be cringeworthy to watch. It very quickly changed my mind, and now all I want to do is eat food. From that show, which is incredible. How far down can we go? Oh, we can keep going. We can just sail all the way around. This is great. We're going to default the map in one big go. I hope this guy doesn't mind me borrowing his boat because we've gone through 3 different areas since I took it. Last 2 on the list, and these are more recent ones, or say recent. Technically, One Punch Man and Food Wars are recent, but they've they've been out quite a while now. My Hero Academia, which again, whole new twist on a superhero story. Great, love it. Think that's fantastic. I love the characters. I love the story. I'm not up to date, which I need to catch up, and I can't wait to see what happens with that story. And there's something which is really, really, really new, and that is Fire Force, which obviously is from the creator of Soul Eater. Loved Soul Eater, thoroughly enjoyed the anime, have all of the manga, if not most of it. Ooh, collision, there we go. And yeah, when I read that this guy, the creator, was going to be making something new, I was like bated breath. Let's see what comes out. And what he came out with was Fire Force. I'm interested to see how that goes, or read more into that, because I have to try and find time to actually sit down and get enveloped in a story. Again, just rambling, coming out with stuff to try and fill in who I am, who Samurai is. I don't know if I've said before why the Samurai name, but part of the reason for the Samurai name is I've always loved the Japanese culture. Like, I love the art style, I love the food, I love the mythos behind it. So like, and this comes from my knowledge. Like, I grew up watching Studio Ghibli films. Loved them. Do love them. Don't quite make it into the top 5 because I've watched them probably so many times that they get very... They're more of a if you're in the mood kind of thing. But recently been playing a lot of Animal Crossing with my wife. And, like, you have Tom Nook, who is a raccoon, and they have items which transform from leaves. That is a very big thing of Japanese legend and laws. Mythos. I don't know what the word is. What the word for it is accurate or correct. But, yeah, that happens a lot. Then you've got Red, who is a sly little fox, and that is, again, another big thing in Japan. Absolutely love the cultures and the design, and when you hear some of the stories that go alongside with samurais, how can you not just love samurais? I mean, I'm looking forward to Last of Us Part 2. I'm also looking forward to Ghost of Tsushima. That game is going to be one hell of a learning experience for me. Just diving in and looking, because I've never been to Japan. I would love to go. Being able to step into the shoes of, or the, like, I don't know what century the game is based in. Being able to go back to that and just explore. Oh, that's going to be so good. Obviously, other things looking forward to along the lines of the upcoming things. PlayStation 5. As of day of recording, they just announced again when they're going to do their PlayStation 5 event to show off some new games. I have no idea what they're going to bring out. I have no idea whether they're going to show us the box finally. I have no idea. But that is this Thursday, which today is Tuesday, so only 2 days to wait. As of the day I'm recording this, it will be an interesting one, to say the least. But yeah, can't wait for that either. I'm looking at my little list quickly, trying to figure out what else to talk about. Talking about favourite films, favourite mangas, so on and so forth. As for currently reading, I'm not actually reading a manga. I'm reading a normal book, and it's Metro 2033. I don't quite know who the author is. I know he's not English, so trying to read it when it's been translated is very difficult, because you're reading it and so sentences in my head don't match up with how they work on the page. I know the Witcher series is very similar, but I'm enjoying it, and all it's doing is making me want to go and play the Metroid games. And I realise I'm sitting here talking, rambling on. It's just very scenic. Sat on a boat, travelling through, defogging what is probably one of the biggest maps I've had to play on in a long time. Oof. And yet Odyssey's bigger than this. I don't believe that. That's insane. Only good news is, just to completely veer off the subject of what I'm currently reading, I will hit another trophy, hopefully in this video, because I'm at level 19 and very close to level 20, which is a trophy. So, there's another one. Might be able to get 3. Although, thinking about it, considering how big this map is, I probably won't defog it all in the space of one video, because it will be a long video. Favourite games? I know you can talk to many a person and they'll all come out and say, oh yeah, you know, my number 1 favourite game is this, or my top 5 favourite games are this. I can't do that. I mean, I have tattoos on my body depicting some of my favourite all-time games. But it's very difficult to stick with just one. And I know there's going to be a lot of people who are like, what do you mean? It's hard to stick with one. The Last of Us, for example, is a great game. It's a phenomenal game, in my opinion. I thoroughly enjoy it. Yeah, I do enjoy it. I enjoy it as a game. I platinumed it. Does it compare to the second part with everything I know about it? No. It's a completely new ball game. Completely new story, completely new ideas. It is far and away a different beast. That's like saying, it's similar to saying that one of your favourite games of all time was God of War on the PlayStation 2 and then playing the new one and keeping the PlayStation 2 one above the new one. It just doesn't compare. There's too many good things coming out. I mean, I have some really classic games that I thoroughly enjoy. But if they ever got a remake or a retelling, the remake would probably win out by a long shot. Similar subject for topics of unable to actually explain clearly, and that's music. Finding all these locations, great. Yeah, music. My music tastes. I grew up in the 90s, if that's of any help. So, certain topics upon which to describe my music tastes are, I grew up playing the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. Music from those, absolutely love them. You know, I grew up going to family parties and barbecues, which had the big cheesy stuff like the Macarena. Bits and pieces like that, which, when you're drunk at a party, everyone loves it. Everyone loves the Macarena. You can't go wrong with the Macarena. So there's that. My music tastes just tend to lean into the rock, punk. Oh, I've destroyed the boat. Sorry, sir. I did not mean to destroy your boat. I'm now in an area which is going to lead to my death, I believe, because of level. Just run back to the river, jump in, and hope we don't get eaten by a hippo, which is what that looked like that right there. There's a tree. There's a rock. They say you shouldn't talk and drive, or walk and talk. You shouldn't do one of those. You should not drive a boat and not focus on what you're doing. Yeah, punk rock, alternative. That's where I tend to lean with my music. But if you're at a party, if you're getting a bit tipsy, and someone were to throw on Gangnam Style, I can guarantee you, like many a person, I'm going to be joining in because it's funny. Swim away from the crocodile before he eats me. And then steal this boat, because this boat is available and no one's using it. Cool. Right, let's just have a quick nose at the map. This is where we want to go, so we're going to go that way. If at all possible, because this looks very shallow. The only thing I can do is list off some bands, really, and that's not even doing it justice. Fall Out Boy, My Chemical Romance, Simple Plan, old time or early Linkin Park. They got to a phase where I kind of fell off. Blink 182, I love Blink 182's newest album. Can't beat their newest album actually. Yeah, my brain blank, completely blank. New region. How many more regions are there? There can't be that many. I say there can't be that many. I know there is. We've got 1. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. How many have I done? I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 ain't bad for one video. Taking me about half an hour, if that. Realise I need to move on to the next section. There we go. Last little thing I can really talk about, and because we are so close to getting that trophy, that's the place. There's a lot of stuff to do there. There's some trophies in there. At least I know where that is now. There's fighting, I believe. Arena battle. Like a Colosseum. Is that going to be enough to get me to level 20? That was enough to get me to level 20. What a surprise. And more. I'm waiting. There it is! I don't get this. I don't understand the phrase. What you still need 8,880 wins. Does it mean a level? Don't know. Yeah, there's only one little topic I have left on my list of things to talk about, which, since I've got to level 20, I've gotten that trophy. I'll take this. I'll end with that topic to try and again give you a better picture of who I am and how I am. Obviously, I've mentioned them a lot. I am married. I have a 1 years old and 3 months. She's 1 year and 3 months old. She was born in March. It's now June. Whew. My head. I have a new region. Awesome. Content. Obviously, I spend a lot of time with my family. I spend a lot of time playing my own games, and I am trying to create my own content. The reason for that is because of some of the people I watch and enjoy, and I enjoy their content. And I have a list of 5 of them, just available, just for the sheer sake of they're here, let's use them. Oh wow, that was a massive section. And they are in no particular order. You have things like Rooster Teeth or Achievement Hunter, which should be fairly evident considering I've probably worn more than my fair share of Rooster Teeth merch in my own videos. Absolutely love that guy, love those guys, love the chemistry. When it comes to actually talking about the real world and the video game world and all this other stuff, it's kind of funny. Absolutely love them. They give me a new outlook on life in certain areas and certain ideas. Then you've got people who are just good for information or good for a quick idea. One of which is PlayStation Access, or Access PlayStation, which is the official PlayStation channel in the UK. I think they're great. I think their ideas are quite clever. I like sitting down and watching them play for a game for the first time because it's always hilarious. Like me, you're running into a brick wall 15 times and can't quite figure out what's going wrong. It is just a good podcast, something to listen to, something to have a giggle with, hear some stories, and that is Retro Replay, which obviously used to feature Troy Baker. It's now just Nolan North and whoever he's able to get on as a special guest, and it's just as funny as it always has been. Highly recommend that to anyone. That's a skull, is it not? That means there's no point in me fighting that. I'll die. The last one on there, which for anyone who is even like a mediocre little trophy hunter, if you want to get trophies and you want to go out of your way to get trophies, like myself, the last person I recommend or actually follow and watch more or less all of his content, even for games I don't own or haven't played, that is PlayStation 4 Trophies. Now PlayStation 5 Trophies has helped. That channel has helped me more than once with getting a few pesky trophies. He's helped me at least with 1 or 2 on this one already. I don't even know where to start with this. Where do we go next? Where should I start next? These are all ridiculously high level areas, and I will die, as I learnt many times trying to make my way through the isolated desert or the depression, because I was trying to get the triathlete trophy and it just kept failing because I kept getting attacked by bandits who were way above my level. It's just gonna have to be go to Siwa and just cross over the boundary, isn't it? But they're some of my favourite content creators. Other than that, until I think of a few more little subjects to talk about, I don't have a lot of information on myself. I work a very long, dull, boring job, which I've mentioned in a previous video. I can't really say a lot about, because it's the kind of job that if the wrong person were to see and put 2 and 2 together, would very quickly result in a letter of... It's not a letter of resignation is me quitting. Basically getting the sack. You know, termination notice. I don't know what you'd say, how you call it. Yeah. Can say one thing about my job though. It does produce a lot of headaches. Anyone who works in the public sector is probably going to know exactly what I mean when I say a headache. But I said I need to think of some new topics now. I've gone through them all. I've blown straight through them. Obviously, if anyone has any questions or shares some similar views, has a different view, please, by all means, comment, subscribe, tweet at me any day. Happy to have a chat. Happy to broaden the horizons. Take it as a given. If I've got it's tattooed on my body, I thoroughly enjoyed the content or the materials upon which. So, like The Last Airbender, I've watched it all. Thoroughly enjoy it. Thoroughly loved it. Can happily sit down and watch it over and over again. Right, we just crossed over into the Great Sand Sea. We'll get out of there before we start hallucinating again. And just head for what is the next one, which is over here, where there's another trophy. God knows if I'll be able to find that in time. Yeah, you know, just happy to have a chat, to have a talk with people, see what's going on, share views. Obviously, anything you can see partially behind me, I have an interest in. I am dabbling in GTA Online. Anyone plays that and wants to do a few heists or some other bits and pieces, would appreciate it. I'm happy to help. There's a few trophies I can't get on my own. Happy to help people get the trophy if they're willing to help back. You know, a quick pro quo. Scratch my back, I scratch yours. Always happy to do that. I've done that with a few other games already with other people. Currently watching, I'll throw that in here. I'm currently watching a show called Upload on Amazon Prime. If you haven't seen it, give it a quick watch. To me, it's hilarious. I think it's phenomenally good. It's not something to be taken seriously in any regard, but it knows what it's doing, and I thoroughly enjoy it. That is a topic, however, I can give for next time. 5 top favourite shows, which I might just do, because I'm now sitting here thinking of a few of them. And then obviously the topic rises, does Avatar: The Last Airbender count as a TV show? Anime or cartoon? I'll give it a think and get back to you. As said, since we are so very, very close to this part. I have been Samurai. Thank you for anyone who has watched. Sorry for rambling on, because that is all I've done. Just trying to broaden or enlighten anyone who watches my videos as to what kind of a person I am. Again, feel free to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, add me on PSN. Always happy to meet new people, always happy to share the gift, which is video games and pop culture, to any and all. As for me, that is the end of my playthrough today. End with a lovely scenic view of Siwa. Until next time, sayonara.